Are you tired of sending out dozens of resumes to all of these different childcare centers, but you never hear back? Maybe you got in an interview, but they did not give you the job offer. Maybe they gave you the job offer, but they gave you the role of an educator instead of an early childhood teacher. Well, if that's the case, stick around, because I'm going to give you a 3-step action plan to make sure that you land your dream ECT role. And stick around, because nobody ever tells you about number 2. I'll even include a secret tip to make sure that you stand out. Hey there, welcome to Oz ECT Funline, your go-to channel for everything early childhood teaching in Australia. I'm Funline and I've been in this industry for over 2 years now, and I've worked in many different roles. I worked as an educator, I've worked as an ECT, I've worked as an educational leader. I've interviewed for countless centers and I know exactly what the directors in these centers are looking for. Apart from my work as an educational leader, we also offer one-on-one consultation sessions to aspiring ECTs. We give them one-on-one coaching, help them create their resumes, tailor their cover letters, and also help them with the interview process that involves creating mock interviews and giving them a list of questions that they might be asked. What this has helped me with is that it has helped me gain an insight into the minds of the center directors as well as the people giving the job interviews to create a 3-step action plan to help you stand out. By the end of this video, you'll have a 3-step action plan from going to a job seeker to a confidently employed ECT. If you don't follow these steps, you could waste months applying without any luck. But if you do follow them, you'll set yourself apart in Australia's competitive ECT market and land the perfect job you've been dreaming of. I can say this with confidence as I've helped people land an ECT role in less than 1 week. Step 1. The perfect resume and cover letter. Now I know what you're saying. Funline, I already know this. Every single job in this world needs a good resume and a good cover letter. But trust me when I say this, countless resumes have come across me that have absolutely irrelevant job experience in them. There's a section about a KFC job, they've done a Subway job, oh, you have accounting experience, you have finance experience. Dude, even if you worked for Apple and you helped create the iPhone 17 which folds, you are not going to get an ECT job. They are looking for teachers and people who have the relevant skill sets of a teacher. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips to make sure that your resume is appropriate for this job. Number 1, of course, you need to highlight your relevant qualification. You might have done a bachelor's in education or you have a graduate diploma in early childhood education. Write that. Now, this is especially important if you don't have any experience or you haven't worked in this industry before and you're looking for your first job. Use this section to highlight what you have learned in your course. You could write, oh, you learned how to write observations, write that. You know how to make curriculums, write that. Go through your previous assignment briefs and read them. What did they make you do? Oh, they made me do this. Oh, that means that I now have officially the qualification to do this. Write that here, because if you don't have experience or if you don't have like previous jobs in this field, this is the section that helps you highlight that I've studied this and I know how to do this theoretically amazingly. So use this section wisely. You can also mention the other degrees that you have, like for example, if you have a bachelor's in accounting, bachelor's in business, IT, whatever other course that you've completed, it's good to mention them. But remember what I said, mention them. Now the second thing would be relevant experience. Now, I don't need your experience from all the other fields, relevant experience in teaching or anything that might help you in teaching. Of course, many of you might be applying first time for this role. In that case, you would have completed some mandatory placement as part of your course. Write that, write the name of the center and write about achievements that you accomplished there. Like were you were great at engaging with the kids, write about that. Was there any specific activity that you conducted that helped you, stand out? Use this to kind of highlight yourself that you've also have experience in the field. Although this might be the first job that you're applying for, you still have experience in the field. You could also write, many of the courses, like for example, the course that I did, it had a mandatory requirement that you needed to manage a classroom for a day or two. Write that. Write those things in this field that you have done that. You have experience in doing that. So the third step is to include keywords. Most ECTs just list their degrees, but it's crucial to showcase your practical experience. Include the National Quality Standard NQS or references to the Early Years Learning Framework EYLF in your resume. That alone signals to the recruiters that you understand the core frameworks in Aussie early childhood settings. And next comes the cover letters. Now, cover letters, I know what most people do. They just copy and paste. Try avoiding that. Even if you're copy and pasting your cover letters, make a paragraph or a section that is personalized. For example, if you're applying to a center that has a special focus towards outdoor play, use that paragraph to highlight how your teaching philosophy aligns with outdoor play and how you would be a good fit for their center. Personalize it. This, I cannot emphasize how much value and power cover letters have. Now, you can always send your resumes through to us, and together we can workshop the ideal resume and cover letter for you personally. But as good as number 1 is, tip number 2 is an absolute game changer. It's gonna skyrocket your chances of getting hired like this. And I'm also gonna give you a special trick in this to make sure that you stand out. Alright, step 2 is all about identifying and creating the teacher identity for yourself. This single-handedly is the most important step in the whole hiring process of getting that dream job of an ECT. This is not only going to help you immensely in your interview, it is also going to make sure that you are offered a job as an ECT, not as an educator. You need to find your teaching philosophy, your strengths, and your approach to handling behavior challenges. This is the secret sauce that all of the directors, the center directors, they are looking from apart from your qualifications, and this is what will help you stand out in a crowd of applications. What is a teaching philosophy? Teaching philosophy is your core beliefs about how children learn. You might be a teacher who believes more in play-based learning. That is your philosophy. You might be a teacher who believes more in structured learning. That is your philosophy. Maybe you are someone who believes the right combination of both. That is your teaching philosophy. Now, think about what way the children would learn best and what way would you teach best. That is your teaching philosophy. Now, I can give you an example. My personal teaching philosophy has always been that in a childcare setting, a parent is trusting you with their child for the whole day. That means that it is your utmost responsibility as a teacher to make sure that they are safe and they are receiving holistic development in terms of their physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and language needs. The next step in this would be to identify your strengths. Now, it could be creativity, communication, emotional intelligence, organization. You need to ask yourself this question. Are you the kind of a teacher who's great at creative and imaginative art projects? Are you the teacher who's great at curriculum design? Are you the teacher who's great at sport activities? Maybe you're a teacher who excels in family communication and building trust. Identifying two or three of these strengths and being able to explain how these strengths help with children's development is extremely important. Now, I promised you all a secret trick in step number 2. So that secret trick is called a behavior management strategy. For example, you're in a classroom and there's a child who's hitting, who's biting, and who's just refusing to follow instructions basically. What would your approach be in this scenario? Would you maybe go with positive interactions with the child? Maybe you set clear boundaries. Maybe you want to wait and identify the unique needs of each child and then use appropriate conflict resolution strategies. Having an answer to this question is what will help demonstrate to the center director who's taking your interview that, hey, this person who's sitting right in front of me, they are aware of the realities of an early childhood classroom and they have an action plan on how to tackle that situation. Let me hire this person. Yeah, I want to hire this person. He's the right fit. That's what's this gonna do? Now, of course, if you're struggling with this, please feel free to reach out to us and we can work together with you to help workshop perfect and ideal teaching identity, a teacher brand, if you could say, for yourself that resonates with you, so that, this is not only going to help you with your hiring process. I think this is something very important for your teaching career in general. Now, once you have nailed down the teaching identity, you have the resume, you have the identity. That means that you have already been selected for an interview. So step 3 is where we talk about how to ace those job interviews. So step 3, nailing the job interview. Common interview questions and how do we stand out in them? So the typical ECT interviews in Melbourne often ask questions like, how do you handle challenging behaviors in a 3-year-old? Describe an activity that supports social emotional development. How do you communicate with families? Now, in your answers, you need to weave in the EYLF principles like belonging, being, and becoming. Show them you understand play-based learning and you can reflect on practice and value collaborative partnerships with families. Now, it's important that you don't just tell, you need to show as well. These center directors, they're very experienced. They know that people can talk a lot. How do we tell them that we mean everything that we're saying? As part of your course, every single course, whether you've done a bachelor's of education or whether you've done a grad dip, every course requires you to create observations and portfolios and reflections and stuff like that. You need to get these as your teacher portfolios. Get these to the job interviews, bring them with you. You don't have to do anything extra. You've already done these. They're probably saved somewhere in your laptop or somewhere in your folders, whatever you use. Just maybe go through them, refine them a bit, and bring them as evidence. Okay, look, this is an activity that I conducted. Here's the paper. I don't know what method of evidence that you use. Maybe you use pictures, maybe you use anecdotes, whatever. Bring that as a portfolio with you to show that you are a candidate who's serious about this. You are a candidate who knows what this industry is about, and you are a candidate who wants this job. I think having that portfolio is a testament that, okay, look, here, I don't need to say anything. Do that. And lastly, this goes without saying, but be confident and genuine. This is not the end of the world. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of childcare centers in Melbourne alone, let alone Australia. Wherever you are, there are many childcare centers. Even if you get rejected, it's not the end of the world. So what I mean to say is, I don't mean to say that you're going to get rejected. If you follow these tips, you will get hired. But what that does is mentally, it allows you to relax a little. Be confident and be free. Talk to them like a friend. Tell them, I can interact with families like this. I can do activities like this. How will you handle the transitions? Talk about their team, their cultures. The center directors there, not only are they looking for a good teacher, they also want a person who's going to fit well in their team, who can, manage their cultural expectations. They need a good person. That is also a bottom line. Of course, it's not as important as being a good teacher, but they need a good person as well. A person who's confident, authentic, and who can talk. ECT is a big position in a childcare center. They might be a little hesitant to hire you as an ECT if you don't show confidence. Be relaxed. It's okay. If you don't get this, you have hundreds more interview lined up. Now, if you follow this 3-step action plan, you'll be miles, I'm telling you, miles ahead of every other applicant for that job position, and you'll stand out for the right reasons. The center director will want to pick you above everyone else. Trust me when I say this, I've had ECT aspirants who've used this 3-step action plan and they just cannot decide which job to chase because they have offer from here, offer from here, offer from here. They come up to the fun line, help us choose which one should we take. That is a good problem to have. Not having a custom tailored resume, bad problem to have. Not having your custom teaching identity or a teacher brand, bad problem to have. Not knowing what to expect and what they are expecting of you from the interview processes, bad problem to have. And stick around, because in my next video I'm going to be telling you how to earn 10 times more as an ECT in Australia. Now, before you go, I want to let you know that I'm offering personal consultation services where we can dive even deeper into your resume, teaching philosophy, or interview preparation. If you want one-on-one guidance, book a free session. Just drop me an email on bestectfunline@gmail.com, and I'd love to help you personally on your journey to becoming an outstanding early childhood teacher. If you liked the video and if you learned anything from this video of value, make sure you hit the like button. Drop me a comment if you have any questions, or as I said, you can email me if you want to have a personal consultation session. And as I said, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to make 10 times more money as an ECT in Australia. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a good one, guys.